Hello, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Oracle of the Feather Crown Tree for the collective weekly moon reading. The moon this week will be in Sagittarius, then it will go into Capricorn, and then Aquarius. It will be gaining light, so we are moving from the new moon that we had last week towards a full moon, so we're gaining some momentum. With it being in Sagittarius, our sense of purpose and direction may be highlighted at the beginning of the week. We may, by midweek, really be understanding how to increase a foundation for this, to build this vision and, anchor it into reality. And we may be looking by the end of the week of how this really serves not only us as individuals, does it truly meet our individual vision, but does it work for the collective as well? So we'll see what comes out here. This reading has 3 segments to it where we will look at the energies of the emotional realm, which is related to the moon, and then how this energy permeates our physical reality and what is available in our higher dimensions as well. So the interplay sort of between all of that. Each section also has a little advice card for some practical applications that we can take throughout the week. So our beginning card is really about the moon. We'll take a few moon-related cards from those moon-related decks, I should say. And what I'm getting here is an attention to balance between the male and the female energies, and how I kind of get how the feminine energy can hold both of those yet still be just the feminine energy. But there's this understanding of like gender equality in that feminine energy. It seems like there wants to be a birthing of that equality. And the birthing of that equality is for the purpose of creation, for our collective ability to create. And it's also sort of protected. Like when we bring in the feminine energy, it protects the process of whatever we're doing, because it's part of the cycle, it's part of what is necessary, it's like part of the recipe. And if we leave out that element, then nothing can actually come to fruition, nothing can actually flourish and flower and be at its most potent and productive levels. So I'm getting that. I'm seeing that there has maybe been a blocking of that type of energy, and there's this glimmer of hope that's starting to come through. It feels like slowly we're going to move this energy away that has been blocking more of an enlightened energy. And it just feels like for the collective, like it's like we can breathe again, like there's this new understanding of what it's like to be in attunement and to be balanced, and how that makes our lives so much better. So our energy that wants to come through in the helper card is moderation. I will read the message on the back here. So it's affirmation that comes with it is, I tried to find the right balance in all things by concentrating on what is really important. So again, this is speaking about balance, which I find just to be a beautiful affirmation, and this sort of interlocking of, our feminine and our masculine side of our body, and bringing that into balance, just as it would we did this. Beautiful. And this right now for me is really aligned to the chakra readings I do on a daily basis. This theme seemed to be coming up, and I was speaking about that it seems to be an important time for it, maybe because we are moving into Libra season, and this is really the time when we embrace that empowered goddess energy, which, well, we're seeing right there as well, which is the next card that we're going to move to. So yeah, I mean, I feel like we're actually having, again, this discussion of like, it actually feels like there's a masculine that wants to listen to maybe a feminine energy here that's been more dismissed, more downplayed, more neglected, and we're getting a confirmation that there's wisdom from this being that needs to be brought into balance here, with an overwhelming statement here of the wisdom and the power of the feminine, to that this isn't like this energy is here to protect the weakness of this energy by any means. The true feminine power, empowered, is not about that dynamic. Female is just as much of a warrior energy as the masculine is, just as much as of a leader, has just as much strength and access to higher wisdom, and is able to build on that and provide from that place as well, like to build stability. And in fact, it feels like if there is to be any rebuilding, that this will be the energy that's leading it, that's allowing us to reconstruct our reality. Now, I'm going to look at sort of an additional energy that's coming in here. This feels like going back to something that we used to know, like a lost knowledge that really permeated our reality, and how we were so one with the invisible realm, and that instinctual way of being that we've really lost, that touch with our power and our survival and our connection to the earth. And so I think a great deal of the restoration of the balance between masculine and feminine energies is maybe going back and really looking at the examples that we'll see in creatures that are ancient to us, at least, and the leadership that they can provide for us, and how they have adapted and become one with their environment, the knowledge that they've acquired by listening and being in rapport with their environment and with their communities. Yeah, I mean, even again, I'm getting like this early ancient, it almost goes back to like snake goddess energy, like very ancient goddess energy. So our helper card from the Essential Oils deck is Spikenard, with the message of faith. Its trigger statement is, why does this always happen to me? And its truth statement is, I am at peace. Know that everything will work out as it needs to, and hold a space of gratitude as you watch the miracles unfold. So I think that this is bringing in, a trust, especially in the heart space, because I do feel that so much of what has been destroyed has been a blocking of the heart chakra, not knowing how to work with energy coming through the heart chakra, not knowing how to cultivate the heart chakra, and that there has to be, a resolve in our heart space. I was talking about this in another reading too. It's like, if we want to make those changes, we first have to step into the energy that we want it to actually be. Like, if we fight with anger, if we fight with violence, we're just bringing more of that. And this to me is really going back to a space of owning what you really want to see, being the energy that you really want to have show up in the world, and leading from that that place. Okay, so now I want to look a little bit at some higher energies that are coming in, and I can't help but notice trust here, which for me really relates to this card as well. I mean, it does seem that, like, whatever energies seem impossible to traverse, they seem larger than what we can move, and just, extremely difficult. This is a really powerful energy coming through. That it's declaring that we can move mountains, but it is through our trust, through our belief that we are something better than how we are being. We can transform from the energetic level, and this will transform things for us in our outer reality that we never thought was possible, but through the act of faith can happen. And here I see a acknowledgement of the feminine energy again that wants to come through. And of course, this is only possible in balance with the masculine. Let's read the little message here too. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. Yeah, so I feel like this is complementing this so much, and it's really, starting with this possibility because we believe in it, because we want to see this self-actualize, and we want to create a new reality. And we want that reality to be full and not be about serving just one sector of people or energy, that it needs to hold everyone. And here we have the message as a color therapy of overindulgence. So again, I think this ties in really well with what we're talking about, because in order to have that wholeness, if any one part, and this doesn't have to be a polarized perspective at this point, but if any one thing gets more than the other, then, or if we put our energy towards anything in a way where it's out of balance, then it's not serving our highest good. It doesn't keep things whole. It doesn't keep things in balance and in the type of expression that they could potentially hold. It just, we all know what this means. So, and its effects can be drastic. So, maybe look at portions of your life and ask yourself, what's, maybe you can make a pie chart even and really look at where you're putting your energy, what type of thoughts you're having, what type of thoughts you're cultivating, between your inner voice, who you're listening to, what you're speaking, how you're behaving, how you're feeling, and really look for a wide spectrum and a balance amongst all those things and within all of those things for yourself. So I think that we will end the reading there. Thank you for being part of it. It's a joy to be able to share it with you. And please enjoy any of the other readings I have for you. I will have the Libra season monthly readings for each zodiac sign out this week too. So I hope you enjoy those. Please take really good care